You mentioned to me in an email that one mistake that you saw is that many businesses spend way too much trying to scale before they have product market fit, but many, equally as many, don't go hard enough once they have it. Mm-hmm. This was just like a blanket observation that you had made. What are some examples of that? Like when, I guess what I would hope that the listener would be able to take away from this answer is like, maybe I'm spending too much before I have it, or maybe I'm not spending enough. Like, if you're in the middle of it, what are you looking for?
My observation is basically there are two ways to get this answer wrong. Answer number one is I don't know that I have product market fit, and I'm trying to supplement, surrogate, or support a bad system, namely no product market fit. Or on the flip side of that, I have product market fit and I'm pursuing it like I may not, or I'm allowing way too much room and way too much oxygen to get into the marketplace. And so if you look at kind of the framework that I'm playing with for my book, this kind of comes out in what I'm calling the $1 billion bullseye. And the $1 billion bullseye is basically a bullseye, just like on a dartboard, that as you nail areas, your bullseye gets bigger. Because obviously if the whole thing is a bullseye, it's a hell of a lot easier to hit than just hitting the bullseye. So as you look at life through this concentric circle lens, you have the first three that are going to be foundational. If you don't nail these, the amplifiers, four of them that come following, really aren't going to help you. So if you think about the way that I view business, and I'm going to be answering the question that we started with, it starts out with purpose in the middle, followed by profit, followed by product. Those are going to be your core three. If you don't have those core three, there is no business. There's no reason to dive into any of the other areas. And the four amplifiers you're then going to have after product are going to be prestige, promotion, persuasion, and people. So that's going to be customer experience is kind of the prestige that's created around interacting with your product. Promotion is going to be marketing. Persuasion is going to be sales. People are going to be the people that you hire to run all of these systems. So you're going to see those foundational elements come out in my answer. But if you look at the way this goes wrong, if you don't have product market fit and you're unaware of it, you're going to be relying on these amplifiers to fix what is a fundamental issue. It's almost like you have no profit and you believe you're going to make up for it in volume, or you have no foundation, but you believe you're going to make up for it in height and width in a building. It just doesn't work. That if you have the greatest marketing in the world pointed at poor product market fit, your acquisition economics are going to be terrible and you're going to build a terrible business. And what we're finding out right now, like Warren Buffett says, when the tide goes out, you find out who was swimming naked. We're looking at technology companies that never had product market fit. They had an exciting concept, they had a great pitch deck, and they had some charismatic leaders that were able to sell a vision that wasn't steeped in educated product market fit with empirical validation. It was a nice idea that was brought out with very fancy branding, very fancy marketing, a commitment to sales, whether there was product fit or not. And those models are just not going to make. Now, that's a very common mistake, one that we see lots of examples of, lots of bodies on the side of the road of people that went down that road and didn't make it. You know, the idea, the lack of product market fit, and the sexiness of the premise and the promise, but not the product, got them through seed, maybe a Series A, maybe a Series B given the previous market, but they never made it past that. They, ran out of runway.